So did we finally get the right brackets for the rear brakes on this 68 Pro Tour Chevelle build? Let's find out.
Built with soul, not just steel.
Okay, so just a little refresher on what we're doing with this Chevelle. So a good buddy of mine, he had a guy building this car. This is before I met him. Apparently the guy passed away, but they've kind of, unfortunately, they kind of half-assed a bunch of the stuff on here. So we're just kind of piecemealing it together to make it all work. We did the suspension. We got the suspension working and all that. We did all the Pro Tour QA1 stuff. Now we're doing a Wilwood brake conversion. Well, we have a C10 out of a Chevy C10 truck rear differential, but they went and welded on Ford axle ends with, and I forget which brand this is, some brand axle that this hub one is larger than normal. But so this is a Ford rear end on from here over, and this is a Chevy rear diff. So that's where we keep running into problems. So we've bought in two different brackets setups. This one I built myself out of some of the scraps of the other brackets that didn't work. And this one actually is sitting right, but the problem is I can't find a rotor that will actually work with this setup. So this isn't gonna work as well. So we found that Speedway Motors has what they call a new Ford Large. I think it's called Ford 9-inch Large. That's what this design is. So supposedly that's supposed to fit for Ford axles. These are Ford axles in a Chevy diff. So we're gonna see if we can get this stuff to mount up. I don't know if we even have the right kind of rotor. We may have to put the old parking brake style rotor back on just temporarily until we can find a rotor, but hopefully we get this thing in. We're going to start here on the driver's side just because it's already basically torn down. We'll get this out of the way and we'll start test fitting some brackets. The nice thing about this kit is it does have spacers available for it, so we can kind of move the brake caliper in and out as needed. Grab a couple wrenches. We got this thing actually running in a prior video. There was a ton of things wrong with this wiring, with the fuel system, and the fuel system still, it's not necessarily exactly how I would do it, but we did get it working. They had the return line going into the feed line going into the return line. It was just kind of a nightmare up under here. So we got that all figured out, got the fuel pressure set. The alternator was not charging. Now, one of two things, the alternator was covered in power steering fluid. Power steering pump was leaking. And so we went ahead and replaced the alternator, replaced the power steering. The water pump had a leak. We replaced the water pump. So we haven't started it since any of that's been replaced to see if the alternator is charging. This, I believe, came out of this LS1, came out of a 98 Chevy Camaro. And if I remember correctly, the 98 Camaros have a different igniter wire for the alternator. And so it may very well be wired incorrectly for the alternator, because 99 and afterwards it's the, I want to say green wire. It's the green wire to the ECU, but 98 and prior was not the green wire. So we'll have to double check that if it's still not charging and see if they wired the alternator incorrectly. So, and we left pretty much all this loose last time we were in here. All right, I'll take all this off here, and we're gonna see what we got. Okay, so And take this off, take this off. This is our retaining ring we're going to leave on there. We need to pop this bolt out. All right, so not 100% sure we will even need this retaining ring. So we may end up having to cut that out of there, but from what I'm seeing, this is going to go around the axle. Okay. Oh, maybe the retaining ring does stay in there. Let's see here. Does it fit? Nope. Okay. So it'll go around the axle. And so far, that one lines up. That one lines up. Okay. This has multiple forward patterns on it, so we may get lucky. There. There. Okay. Okay. Not quite sure. Okay, it looks like that does in fact, it looks pretty good. It looks like it does line up. Okay, so we know that if we want the caliper to be up at this position here, so let's see what we got bolt wise to test this a little bit more. It did come with spacers as well, as I was mentioning earlier. So, but these spacers seem to be, yeah, just to bring the caliper itself back. So, okay, so it does come with this plate, which we're going to need to see that right there. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. That seems to line up pretty good. It's just a hair off, but that's the right amount of space right there. Okay. I don't know if we can get you in there to see this a little better. Look, the bearing is nice and flush with this spacer here, so that we can cut this ring off, get rid of this ring, and then the bracket itself, the brake bracket, will hold the bearing in place. It does line up. It's a little slightly off, but if the bolts are small, it should be able to, yeah, basically come right through there, just like that. That is awesome. Okay, I think we're gonna be okay with this kit, guys. Okay. I may need to get shorter bolts, but we'll see. All right. So, this is actually looking really good. All the bolts do line up. See here? 1, 2. We need shorter bolts. These are actually for the brackets. I just have them in here just to test fit. But and then these are those spacers right here, and we have different thickness spacers. We got some thin ones, some thick ones. So we'll adjust as needed to bring the caliper forward or backwards onto the rotor. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of the rotors out of the car that we do have, and then get this brake set up to those rotors. All right. This is the one rotors we do have. And they do fit over the hub, which is good. Okay, so this bracket just barely clears once it's tight. It'll, right now you see it's hitting on where the drum used to be. but we tighten that up. It just clears, top and bottom. So now it'd be a matter of finding the position for the caliper. All right, so we are still having issues with this section hitting this section. So we're gonna have to space this further back so it can come in just a little bit so these bolts can line up. So we're gonna just bolt one of these down and then play with the depth of this to get it centered on that rotor. Okay, so we've solved the clearance issue. We are definitely just going to have to get different rotors, but this now clears if we go further back. Try to see through there. But this rotor definitely will not work. As you can see, it's hitting right here, but this rotor has a drum inside, so this is extended out further for that drum. So we need to find what rotor is going to work with a metric caliper off of a Chevy with a Ford axle. So we got to do some research there. But what we're going to do is we're going to space this thing out because we know it's got to be at least that much right here, that much gap. So we'll get the spacers, set this to the depth so that way it clears the actual housing. And we'll get these on both sides. We'll get them on with no rotors, but at least we'll have that done and we know that this will work. We just will have to find the right rotor, whether it be mix, match, etc. All right, so that's kind of what it'll look like. And again, whether the spacers go this way or forward will be dependent on the rotor. I'm gonna finish this video up. Now we know that they'll fit. This is JP Street Performance, where dream cars are built, not bought. From the first cut to the final pass. We'll catch you on the next project.